everybody. So here we have the Yema Superman Black Diver. Just got shipped here from France. Pretty excited to open this one up. So let's get to it. Bunch of paperwork needed for import from Europe. Not important. Let's find out. They really taped this guy up. So let's find out what's on the inside. Okay, how do we even get into it? All right, so lots of packing peanuts. Probably not the best for the environment. Spill those out. And underneath, we've got a watch. More packaging. So this guy I purchased during their Black Friday sale. They did about 50% off on these, which I thought was a killer deal. It's a in-house movement. It's a French watch, so not your normal Swiss made. It's a heritage kind of diver, so a vintage reissue. They do make one that is an identical reissue, so that one has 19mm lugs, 39mm case width. This one is not an identical reissue, which I'm thankful for because nobody wants 19mm lug width. There is a pretty substantial lack of coverage on these guys, but I got an opportunity to see them at Worn and Wound this year, and it was the first time I had seen a Yema in the flesh, and so they pretty substantially impressed me. A little book. Looks like it's just their other models. Yema.com. Packaging. And so this is a little case for the travel case for the watch. And so you can see their Yema embossed in the leather body. Actually kind of feels like it's fake leather, but still. You know, half price for this watch. The watch already wasn't too expensive. They're normally around $950 to a grand, depending on where you're at, where your taxes are. And so for that to come with this little case is pretty substantial. And then on the inside, here we are, a little card containing all of the information necessary for me. Warranty. Some more bubble wrap. Feels like a little sleeve. Yup. Come on out of there, little guy. You know, it's not exactly the most luxurious packaging, but then I'd rather it be shipped like this than the way Longines ships their stuff. They send it in a single little piece of bubble wrap and in a big box to roll around. So another plastic bag here. And here we are, still substantially plastic wrapped, but you can see there, shiny new Yema. So these were issued to the French military. Although a dive watch, I've read that it was issued to the French Air Force. And this one has an interesting locking mechanism right there. I don't know if you can see that, but for the bezel, when you screw down the crown, that's what locks the bezel in place. And so let's do this. Let's get all these plastics off here and come right back. All right, plastics off and we're back. One last little peel here. And there we go. So they make two models that are very similar to each other. This one, as you can see, has the indices on it. And see if we get that to focus there. There we go. So that's got the applied indices on it there with a lot of reflection. And the other model they make is a painted on indices. All of them are loomed. The painted on one seems to, you know, have a little bit more of the loom to it so you can see what's going on in a dive situation. And this guy here is a 40 millimeter diameter, so across. It's a thickness of 12.85, and that is actually pretty good for one of these divers. You know, you can find a lot of brands that'll end up being a lot thicker with the same kind of movements in them. H-link bracelet. It is all stainless steel. Screw down crown. 990 feet, around 300 meters. Water resistance, so she's plenty water resistant. It's an engraved Yema logo there on the crown. You can see there's a lot of plastics that I didn't quite see. They're sneaky. But at least it made it over from France without getting scratched, so that's nice. So they rely really heavily on their heritage and their background, even though they did go out of business for a while and then were bought up by another group. You can see she's already started ticking just from the little movements there. Maybe we can get a loom shot in here later. So let's see how this crown system works. So we're going to unscrew it a little bit here. You can see that immediately loosens this up. So this is still a unidirectional bezel. Feels really good actually. Clicks are crisp, and then it's not really going anywhere backwards even without this crown guard, but if we screw this back down here, now it's not even going forward. And so that, I think the original was a bidirectional friction fit bezel, and that's why this little thing is important here. They make some models without that. I honestly don't think they look as nice. It has nothing to do with the bezel lock. It has all to do with the face of the watch. They also make these in bronze, which look phenomenal, but you can't get a bracelet with the bronze model. So here with the bracelet, high polished center links and brushed outer edges, polish on the sides, engraved Yema logo there, flip lock clasp, and then friction fit here. Really tight. It is not a fancy clasp, this is just stamped here. There is a dive extension on that clasp and some micro adjusts on the edge there. So we'll see how, you know, I got 4 micro adjusts. We'll see how adjustable this is. I'm fairly confident that these are just friction pins in the bracelet. On the inside of the case back, there's that deeply stamped Yema logo. 30 bar, Superman, made in France. I am really into this one. The fact that this is a 20 millimeter strap, end links here, lug width, you know, makes it way more feasible to put lots of different options on there, lots of different straps. You could do NATO, you could do leather strap. They sell these with a dive strap or a leather option, sort of a rally leather option. I pretty much always say go for the bracelet. If you want, you can always buy a new strap later on, pretty affordable. You know, drilled lugs there, making it a lot easier to do that strap change. It's something you don't see on a lot of models for a lot of companies. Solid end links, screw down case back. The fairly unique minute hand there, sort of a very old style minute hand, old 60s, 70s dive bezel. It's an aluminum insert and a shovel second hand, sort of like a Marine Master would have. I really like it. I think it looks pretty good. Automatic movement, in-house movement. You really can't go wrong with that. I will say that right away I can see that this little bezel lock here doesn't seem to fit quite flush on the bezel. It's a little more raised on one side, probably because you're screwing down the crown, tweaking it a little bit. You know, that might be something worth looking into if you can remove it without really screwing with the watch too much and not have that there. And let's do on wrist. It looks pretty good on wrist. You know, the end links, they do stick out a bit from the lugs. If you can see that there, they are not quite flush, and so it doesn't drape down perfectly off of where the lugs are, but still seems really comfortable on this H-Link. Have to resize it and find out. So there's your unboxing for the Yema Superman Black. Thanks for watching.